What happened when Mary came to visit Elizabeth? This is the question that we seek to answer today as we continue our verse-by-verse study of the book of Luke on Walking Through the Bible. If you have a Bible with you, you can turn to Luke chapter 1. We're going to be reading from verses 39 to 45. If you don't have a Bible, don't worry. Just follow along with us on the screen. The version that we'll be reading from is the New King James Version. So, Luke chapter 1, beginning at verse 39. Now Mary arose in those days, and went into the hill country with haste to a city of Judah, and entered the house of Zacharias and greeted Elisabeth. And it happened, when Elisabeth heard the greeting of Mary, that the babe leaped in her womb, and Elisabeth was filled with the Holy Spirit. Then she spoke out with a loud voice and said, Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb. But why is this granted to me, that the mother of my Lord should come to me? For indeed, as soon as the voice of your greeting sounded in my ears, the babe leaped in my womb for joy. Blessed is she who believed, for there will be a fulfillment of those things which are told her from the Lord. In this chapter thus far, Luke has been telling us about two miraculous conceptions, though they would be miraculous for two entirely different reasons. The first was the conception of John the Baptist. What made his conception miraculous was that his parents, Zacharias and Elisabeth, were old, past childbearing years, and Elisabeth was barren, unable to have children. With the Lord, though, nothing is impossible, for just remember the birth of Isaac. Through the natural process of reproduction, God opened up Elizabeth's womb, enabling her to get pregnant. With the conception of Jesus, though, an entirely different miracle was needed. Mary, the one who would become Jesus' mother, was a virgin, having never had sex with a man before. Now, if Jesus was to have an earthly father, no miracle would have been needed, for Mary wasn't said to be barren, but Jesus would be the Son of God. He wasn't going to have an earthly father. Therefore, a miracle would be needed, for reproduction doesn't occur in humans without the fertilization of a female egg by the male sperm. The Holy Spirit would cause the pregnancy to occur without the need for the male to be involved. So John the Baptist and Jesus were born miraculously about 6 months apart from each other. We didn't get time to discuss this in the last lesson, but we should also note that Jesus and John would be related to each other. The King James Version says that they were cousins, while other versions simply say that they were relatives. As we've seen in other studies, the ancient Hebrews referred to those who were kin slightly differently than we do today, with the word son not necessarily meaning direct son, but possibly grandson, great-grandson, or even much further down the family tree. So too with cousin. The word translated in Luke 1:36 by the King James Version as cousin simply means relative, and so how closely related Mary and Elizabeth were is unknown. Some even wonder how Mary and Elizabeth were related at all, because Mary was of the tribe of Judah, while Elizabeth was of the tribe of Levi. Such is easy to explain, though, for Elizabeth's mother's sister could have married one of the tribe of Judah. Since what house you were was determined from the father, all children from that union would be considered of the house of Judah, even though their mother was a Levite. But whether Mary and Elizabeth were first cousins, second cousins, or some other type of cousins can't really be known, and so we shouldn't really spend much more time speculating on that. Coming to verse 39, we have Mary coming from Nazareth to Judah to visit Elizabeth. By this time, Mary would have been pregnant with Jesus, but not that far enough along to know it. Why would Mary go to visit Elizabeth? Well, the angel had told her that Elizabeth, her relative, was pregnant, so such would be a time to rejoice. But there was another reason for this visit, to see the work of the Lord in action. As a virgin, being told that you would be pregnant without ever having sex is very hard to understand. Nobody in history had ever given birth this way. The angel said that the Lord was the reason that Elizabeth was pregnant, so visiting her would enable Mary to confirm this and strengthen her faith that God would do for her what he had promised. When Mary arrived, the babe that was in Elizabeth's womb leaped. Now we understand that babies kick in the womb, but this didn't happen by coincidence. This happened on purpose. John the Baptist was prophesied to have been filled with the Holy Spirit from the womb, according to verse 15 of this chapter. So with the Son of God being present in the room, John, still about 3 months from birth, leaped. But John wasn't the only one filled with the Holy Spirit, for Luke tells us here that Elizabeth in this moment was as well. What did Elizabeth reveal under the direction of the Holy Spirit? That Mary was blessed among women, and that the fruit of her womb would be blessed as well. It was a confirmation that Mary was indeed pregnant. But not only was Mary pregnant, she was pregnant with the Lord, the Son of God, the one that we would know as Jesus. This is why the babe in her womb leaped, for the presence of God was in the room. A final blessing is bestowed upon Mary because of her belief, for there would be a fulfillment of those things that were told her from the Lord. Mary could have not believed the word of the Lord, and something happened to her like happened to Zacharias. But no, Mary believed. Her belief caused her to go see Elisabeth, and when she did, her faith was vindicated and God was pleased. With that, our time is up for today. The Lord willing, we hope you'll join us for tomorrow's discussion of Luke chapter 1, verses 46 to 56, as we continue our walk through the Bible, one verse at a time. Thank you for watching today's episode. We hope that you found it edifying and ask that you not only subscribe to our channel and podcast, but that you like and share this episode among your friends, so that the saving gospel of Jesus Christ can go out to the whole world.